Okay, we're live from the Combine Cab in Sumner County, Kansas. I was going to try to hold it sideways, but it looks like I need to hold it upright. So I'm Marsha Boswell with Kansas Wheat, and I am riding with Jake
Van Allen.
Jake Van Allen. He's farming here in Sumner County. And Jake, this is a family farm?
That's right, yes. My grandfather started the farm shortly after World War II, and it passed down to my dad and my uncle, and now my cousin and I have gotten started, and we're slowly kind of phasing in and phasing the old timers out.
So how long have you been farming with your dad and grandpa?
I think I probably started when I was 7 or 8, and I am 27 now, so right about 20 years. I graduated from K-State in 2011, and got real full-time right after that, and started picking up some of my own farm ground. And so yeah, I guess this will be my 5th year of actually a full-time farmer now.
Okay. So, do you know what variety are we cutting today?
This is K-State Everest right here. It's been a great week so far this year. I think so far it's been our top producer, and this field so far might be our best as well. Our yield monitors are showing anywhere in the 50s and 60s, so it'll be interesting to see what it finishes at.
So this is your yield monitor up here?
Yeah, it's probably kind of hard to see. It's kind of old school.
Okay.
They didn't think to put a color screen on it back then, but yeah, we've had a pretty decent harvest so far. Yields have been from average to great. We had some fields in the mid-30s that were some west-bred cedar that seemed to take a little bit more of the drought and stress damage, or the drought damage and the freeze damage, I mean. But the Everest hasn't shown it near as much, and it's been up at the top. We do have some other wheat. It's an Oklahoma State variety. It's called Double Stop. It's a little bit later of a maturity, so we haven't actually gotten into any of it yet. We're hoping to maybe later this afternoon, see what the moisture's running on it. But so far we've had no problems cutting. We've had great moisture on the wheat to cut. We haven't had to stop or slow down at all. Everything's been running about 10 to 12% moisture and really great test weights. I don't know if we've had any under 60 pounds, and we've gone up to close to 65 pounds. So I think we're all pretty happy after the book that's been thrown at this wheat crop this year.
So tell me a little bit about what has been thrown at the wheat crop this year.
Well, it started out, going in the last winter, we were pretty dry, and we didn't get much snow during the winter, or much of anything really during the winter. And then coming out of winter, we were kind of the same. And then early spring, we had a few freezes that hurt some wheat here. I know it hurt my wheat at least. And but these late rains that we've had really in the last month have helped to fill this wheat very nicely, and it's probably saved us quite a bit. So all things considered, we've gotten probably pretty lucky. So
explain what you mean by fill the wheat.
Well, all those rains came right at a great time, and we had cool temperatures right when all of the wheat was headed out and making grain, and that really allowed it to make these great test weights that we're seeing now, and to really help fill and help us out on our yields.
See, we have another combine coming toward us here on this same field. So your family has 2 combines?
Yeah, we've run 2. We had a 3rd one, but it was getting older, and it seemed like all we really did was work on it, so we went down to 2. We have a manageable amount of acres that we can cover in about 10 to 15 days most of the time, so we get along all right.
So what day did you start harvesting?
We started Tuesday, which this is Saturday.
June 7th,
yeah,
maybe?
Good day, because I don't remember any of those dates. But yeah, we got going Tuesday, and we've been going pretty strong ever since. So hopefully, maybe by next weekend we can get finished up if we miss some of the rains in the forecast.
So when was this wheat planted?
This wheat was planted October 6th, if I remember right.
Okay, so it's winter wheat and it's planted in the fall.
Right.
And then what happens to it over the winter?
Well, usually it goes dormant over the winter once we start getting cold. That didn't really happen so fast this year, if I remember right. It seemed like we were kind of later on when we really started getting colder. So some of this wheat got really large and used up a lot of nitrogen before it ever went dormant. And it seems like we've seen a little bit of that in the field as well, where it ran out of nitrogen here this spring. But I guess it all turned out okay.
So after you cut the wheat and it goes into the bin back here, it looks like we're getting kind of full.
Yeah, we're about half full now.
And then what are we going to do with it?
Well, we've got one of our helpers in the grain cart. We're going to get in the grain cart and load it onto the truck and get it headed to Conway Springs so the local co-op. We're quite a ways away from Conway right now, so it's taking the trucks a long time to get back and forth. Luckily, we have 2 drivers today. We've been with only 1 driver this week, but my cousin, who has a full-time job, came out here over the weekend to help out, and it's a good thing he did.
Yeah, it's about, 17 or 20 miles to Conway?
Yeah, something like that. That's probably right. And they've been pretty busy. I don't know what they were like today, but the last few days, they've had trucks lined up pretty far.
Yeah, we are actually going to go over there a little bit later and do some streaming from trucks unloading at the elevator, but it sounds like they've taken about 500,000 bushels a day.
I hadn't heard. I've only been over there a few times in the semi, but every time they've had a line of trucks out the drive.
So, and then I know your mom and your sister and your wife were here earlier.
Yep.
So, what do they do to help during harvest?
My mom's kind of the glue that holds us all together. She makes our dinners for us. She has a full-time job in town, so she takes some time off, but a lot of the time she comes straight home and starts cooking for us and makes us some pretty good meals. My wife and my sister both help out quite a bit. My sister is a full-time crop adjuster, and so she's been out of town with all the recent weather out in western Kansas. She just got back yesterday, and she usually tries to help out, and she'll run a combine and just help any way she can. My wife's a full-time teacher, and she stays pretty busy during the summer because she runs the FFA department at her school in the Ag Ed department. And so when she's not out of town over the summer taking her kids somewhere, she helps out too.
I imagine she was at the FFA conference last week.
Yeah, she was. She was in Manhattan. That's right. She got back just in time for us to get started. So it's a major help that they're around to help out. And just something as simple as helping us move to a different field is just real hard when we only have so many people around.
So how do you choose which seed to plant?
We look for something with a good disease package. We've liked the cedar for quite a while. It seemed to be pretty strong against rust. More and more, it seems like we're starting to look more into milling quality because we want quality wheat in the market, and that'll help us in the future and help us be able to sell it overseas. We started planting the double stop because we don't do a lot of crop rotation, and the double stop allows us to spray for rye and eliminate some of the rye problems we've had in the fields. And it's been a good yielder as well. So we kind of go off a lot of the plot tours that come around and see what works in our area, and talk to some of the smarter people around and see what's working for them. And we try to. It seems like just about every year or so we try a new variety and see if it works. And if it does, we try to save some and go back with it. But Everest has been a pretty solid wheat for quite a few years now for us. It's hard to get away from it, and this year kind of reminds us. So.
Yeah. We've noticed some stripe rust issues with Everest, but it must be that you sprayed and took care of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is my father's field, and he had all of his Everett's sprayed with a plant with fungicide back. Gosh, well, I guess right when it was heading out, or shortly after it was heading out, and it seemed to work pretty well.
So I have a question about how long has your family been farming?
Well, I'm not sure on the exact dates. My grandfather served in World War II, and one of the stories I remember is that he sent money home to my grandmother to buy some farms while he was overseas. So he was probably farming a little bit before that, but I think he really got taken off there in the 40s.
So I have another question about how many combines we see in our area. I mean, right now I can see the one we're in and 3 others. There's one on the road over there.
Yeah, and there's three back to the south of us as well.
And there's 3 back to the south of us, and then the other one in this field. So maybe 6?
At least, if not a few more. Yeah, we're starting to see a lot more people around. Just the way the rains worked out, there was a lot of guys that were busy spraying corn, spraying soybeans, spraying milo, planting soybeans, replanting milo, and some of that I think took a little precedence while we were waiting on this wheat to get plenty dry to start cutting. But I think all of that's passed because we're definitely seeing more and more combines around.
Yeah, I think most of the county is cutting today.
Sure.
Seems like.
Sure.
If anybody's got a combine, it's out in the field.
It's a pretty good day for it.
You don't have a lot of custom crews that come through this area, or do you?
There's
custom
a few.
cutters?
Yeah, there's quite a few normally. I know a few of our neighbors usually have some hired out. Heck, we've had some hired out before when we get up against the clock.
Have you seen any custom cutters in the area yet?
Yeah, there was some on the way to Conway Springs, actually cutting there along the highway. They came into town early last week and kind of just got started here in the middle of the week.
I know there was a little bit of a holdup in Texas with all the rain that they had gotten down there in Oklahoma, so they were maybe a little slow getting to Kansas.
Yeah, it's very possible. I haven't really kept track.
You've been probably a little busy this week.
Just a little bit.
Do any of our listeners have any questions for Jake about farming or about wheat harvest? Okay, well, let's talk about what do you do the rest of the year. This takes, what'd you say, 12 days or something?
Yeah, probably somewhere around there. We actually planted milo a few weeks ago, and we were over spraying our milo, the end of last week, the beginning of this week, right before we got into combines. So we're gonna be keeping a close eye on it and making sure no more weeds show up, hopefully. But yeah, before too long, it'll be time to harvest our milo as well. Eventually, we'll probably start some field work here. We're still kind of debating on what we're gonna do with all this stubble. With as thick as straw as we're seeing in some areas, we might spray some and try and work it later, or we might get our turbo till out right away and try to get some of it chopped up and start the deterioration process. So.
Well, you're cutting it pretty short. You don't ever bale any of your straw?
No, I think we had it baled 1 year, and it just seems like you lose quite a bit. I kind of like having the straw in the field.
Yeah.
We don't have any cattle or anything that would have any use for it, and I don't really know anybody around that would want it, so we're more than happy to leave it here.
So will this field then be planted again to weed in the fall?
That's the plan, yes.
Yeah, you had mentioned one of your other fields had a little bit of rye in it, so you were going to switch it out to milo for a year. Do you usually rotate your crops through, or plant?
We try to. It seems like our fields, at least the fields that we have, they're kind of limited on their ability to support corn or soybeans. So we try to stay with a wheat and milo rotation.
And is that because of precipitation?
Yeah, and just not as not as good of soil, at least it's conducive to growing good corn or soybeans. It seems like we can grow milo a little bit easier. And wheat, of course, has like 10 lives, so it's usually a pretty safe bet. But no, we've had pretty good luck with milo around here, and we sure like it. So we usually try to rotate and have at least 400 or 500 acres of milo just about every year.
So what's your favorite thing about farming in general?
I love harvest. It's my favorite time of the year. It's probably because I just remember it as a kid, and it's kind of like Christmas as a kid. You know, all your friends are helping, or you get to see a lot of the old harvest crew that may not be around all the time, and it's kind of like a big holiday, and it's just a lot of fun. And we make money right now, so that's always a positive as well.
Yes, because you can't really count on your yields until they're in the bin and not the elevator,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. It can be a very stressful time leading up to and sometimes during harvest. But all things considered, I think we're going to be relatively happy this year. If the price was a little bit better, it'd be great. But
it would be, yeah. Yeah, but you think your yields are going to be a little above average?
I think so. You know, we still have quite a bit to go, so I don't want to shoot myself in the foot now and get bit by karma. But,
yeah, hopefully the hail stays away and the weather stays cooperative.
Exactly, but if everything holds like we've been on, I'm going to be pretty happy.
All right. Do you think if there's any last minute questions that anybody has, we'd be happy to answer those. Otherwise, I think we're going to finish our round, and then do you have anything else you want to add, Jake?
I don't think so. Thank you for coming out today. It was great to get to talk with everyone.
Yes, and thank you for inviting us to ride along in your combine.
Absolutely.